fighting for the center and opening up their pieces for development. Many interesting openings start with this move, including the French defense, Indian defenses, and more. Bishop f4 develops the dark squared bishop to an active square where it controls the center. Your bishop is ready to be developed to an active square. Their better move was to prepare a bishop for development. You offered your opponent the chance to trade off equal material. They defended their bishop, which was under attack. That was an even swap of material. A straightforward recapture. Your opening setup's taking shape nicely. You get a chance to win a pawn through a fork. You missed an opportunity to win a pawn through a fork. You are now able to win a pawn through a fork. You had an opportunity to win a pawn through a fork. Creating a pawn chain. Yes, this is the way. Their king steps away from the check by your queen. You won a pawn for free. This is the only move that works. They defended the... Your better option was to develop a knight and attack the center. They've brought their piece into play while forcing your queen to retreat. This is a good time for you to get out of trouble. Attacking your pawn chain. You are bringing your knight into play, eyeing the central square. They slipped up a bit here. Not the worst move, but definitely not the best. You permitted the opponent to eventually win a pawn. They are threatening to win a rook through a fork. You stopped your opponent from being able to win a rook through a fork. Their best option was to connect rooks, developing the knight and increasing influence in the center. They attacked your rook, gaining time as it must move away. This moves your rook to a safer square. This is the only good move. They exchange pieces of equal value. You recaptured. Their best option was to add a defender to a vulnerable pawn. Your better option was to castle kingside. Your opponent activates their last piece, bringing all of their forces into play. Good job, that's what I would have played too. It was an even game, but now you have the advantage. That protected passed pawn helps your position. Decent move, but they had a better one. You had a better option, but this is not bad. This move protects their pawn, which was vulnerable with insufficient defenders. Not the best move, but not bad either. Their best option was to force an isolated pawn. You exchange pieces of equal value. Takes back. This will win a pawn with correct play. A clear recapture. You recapture the piece. They've moved their knight closer to the center to boost its activity. This move makes your piece much more effective. They defended their pawn, which was under attack. Well done, an excellent move. This is a fair trade. You trade off equal material. They exchange pieces of equal value. A clear recapture. Their rook is now active on an open file. You step your king away from the checking rook. That's playable. This move challenges their rook for control of the file. This is a fair trade. Nice choice. Your recapture also improves your rook's position. They are right on target. Good job stepping in to defend your pawn. That's not a mistake, but they did not find the best move here. Your pawn is no longer hanging and is now defended. Your opponent's position went from bad to worse and is now losing. Your best move was to push a passed pawn. A correct move to get their rook out of harm's way. You dodge the check, moving your king out of harm's way. They've placed their rook behind your passed pawn to control its progress. You had an advantage, but now the game is close to equal. You are now able to use a rook to support a passed pawn. This rook move helps to push the pawn while staying active. They took your pawn for free. Your passed pawn is one step closer to promotion. They've improved the positioning of their piece. Good job defending that pawn. Their rook is now keeping an eye on your passed pawn. You permitted the opponent to capture the opponent's passed pawn. Their best option was to capture the opponent's passed pawn. Nice, you capture a vulnerable rook, winning material after all. A straightforward recapture. A logical capture. This move doesn't help their position at all. The only move, and you found it. They played the strongest move available. Good job stepping in to defend your pawn. I like their choice. Nice, definitely the right move. Precise move from your opponent. Yes, this is the way. You are now able to capture a pawn and win. Taking that pawn will win material for you. Recaptures. Getting closer to the forced checkmate. Your move gets closer to checkmate.